welcome to the EarthtonesGirl podcast. My name is Denise. I am coming to you today from my home in Yonkers, New York, where I live with my husband and our 2 children. You can find me on the webs as EarthtonesGirl. I am most active on Instagram. I am also on Ravelry. You can find me, the podcast also has a Ravelry group, which is the EarthtonesGirl podcast, and there's also an email address, which is earthtonesgirl@gmail.com. I think I'm a little out of practice. You guys, oh my gosh, episode 31. Welcome back to returning viewers. I am so happy that you're here, and to any new viewers, the podcast has gotten a lot of new viewers in the last month. Welcome, the biggest, warmest welcome. I am so happy that you're here with me today to share a little bit of time. You guys, it's been a month. A month. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe a whole month has gone by. That is ridiculous and way too long, but my plate's been so full, and not full with a lot of different things, and I know everybody's plates are full, but I've been working on a lot of things, and we'll get into all of that in just a bit, but it's just been a while, and I've missed being here. But the funny thing is I have actually been recording. I put out a sock talk tutorial video talking about the heel flap and gusset, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. So there has been a video in between, but that came out soon after my last episode, so it still feels like a really long time since I've been here. And hopefully by the time you see this, and I get all of this episode edited, part 2 to Sock Talk will also be out. If you can see this little bag right here, just on the other side of that is all of the my sock samples for part 2, and part 2 focuses on the afterthought heel. So I'm doing 2 videos in one day. A tutorial and a regular podcast. And it's interesting, I think I just want to talk about the tutorials for a bit. The way that I do mine, I try to be so detailed and give as much explanation as I possibly can, so it's a lot of mini clips that have to get edited together. So you have like a 4 or 5 minute clip talking about one thing, then I have to show you what that looks like after, then I show you the next thing, then I show you the next thing. So each video is building on itself, and that I have to knit in between. So that absolutely, it takes a really, it's fun, it's absolutely wonderful, I think, to do it that way, but it definitely takes a long time getting all of those videos done and then getting them edited in a cohesive manner. So I do apologize for the delay. I know I don't have to, but I know a lot of you have been waiting for that, and I do appreciate your patience so much. So yeah, we also had, what else has been happening at Casa de EarthtonesGirl? Both of my kids, we had Easter, which was wonderful. I posted some pictures on my Instagram feed of the family all at church on Sunday morning. It was really wonderful, and the kids had 2 Easter egg hunts that day. We had an Easter egg hunt at the church itself, at our church, and then in our backyard, and it was just so much fun. They had such a great time, and it's so wonderful that they both, not so much my daughter anymore, because she's now 10. We also had her birthday in between the last episode, and there's been so much happening. So she doesn't as much anymore as my son. He's 4, but he still, with his whole little baby heart, believes that the Easter Bunny is real. And oh, to see his face and the joy on his face when he finds an Easter egg hidden just for him and just for his sister, and gets excited, and then they have races and competitions to see who can gather the most eggs, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's fun. So anyway, I'm getting all just reminiscing about that. I also, my babies also got sick. Oh, Kira's been, my poor girl, she's had the flu. Starting from the beginning of the year, she had the flu, she had strep, a stomach virus. She was doing better for a little while. And then my son came down with a stomach virus right when we were having her slumber party. Yes, we've also had, like I said, the birthday. She turned 10 on May 6th, so that was really awesome. And then then he came down with a stomach virus right on that Saturday morning. The party started that afternoon into the evening, and a week later, almost to the day, she got the same virus. I am not going to gross you out with the details. It was not pretty around here at all. I was neck deep in it, you guys. It was awful. It was awful. I can smile and chuckle about it now, but it was not funny in the moment. And I don't know about your children or for any of you that are around children when they're ill, if they lose a couple of pounds, when an adult has a stomach virus and we lose a couple of pounds, it's almost like, yay, that's a little bonus. It's sort of your reward for putting up with the stomach virus is that you drop a couple of pounds, but, and most of the time you don't even notice. But with a child, when a kid loses weight from a stomach virus or from an illness, it's a horrible, I'm gonna just move that a little bit. It's absolutely horrible. I mean, all of a sudden they're skin and bones. So they're both fine now. Everybody's well recovered, eating again, thank goodness. And yeah, so that's been home life. It's been really, really full and fun. And you know, we're almost coming down to the end of the school year, but I'll talk about that at the end. Time waits for no one. It is just unbelievable. How fast everything moves. I don't enjoy that at all. But anyway, so I'm here, I'm back. Sock Talk video, Sock Talk Part 2 is coming out, and I just wanted to get back in front of the camera and talk to you guys. There's been so much there's so much to share. I've got my little notes and my cheat sheet here to share with you. We've also had the Game of Thrones season finale. I'm wearing my shirt here. That is what I do. I knit and I know things. Thank you, Tyrion Lannister, for that. I tweaked the phrase just a little bit, but for those of you that know the show, this was originally quoted by Tyrion Lannister, and the original phrase was, "That is what I do. I drink and I know things." So there you go. I thought it appropriate to wear this today. So yeah, that's basically what's been happening. Let's get right into it. KALs. Let's do a little bit of admin, you guys, and talk about things that are happening, things that are coming up. Another reason I really wanted to get this video up for you is because I've got some more KAL news to share with you, but I'll get to that in 1 second. So right now I currently have, as many of you know and have been following, I have the No Fear Sock KAL going on right now. And that started on March 1st and will be running until the end of the summer. It ends on August 31st. We're having so much fun. We are at the halfway point, you guys. Halfway. May is almost over. I've been awarding prizes. It's been so much fun. People are knitting socks. Mission accomplished. I am so happy about that. I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am. The fear is gone. The fear is decreasing. For some, it has completely been thrown out the window. For others, people are knitting socks. There are even a few people, of course I don't remember anyone's names right this second. If I do, I'll try to add it for you, but I know one person has knit 6 pairs of socks. That's 2 pairs a month since this started. What? Going from having not knit socks at all to have 6 pairs under their belt now. Wow. My heart's bursting. I'm so happy. It makes me so, so happy. My goal, as I've said numerous times with this podcast, is to show and share the joy of making, of knitting, whatever that is for you, crocheting, sewing, it doesn't matter. I want people to find the joy in their making and remove the frustration, remove the fear, and that is what the No Fear Sock KAL has done for many, many people. And I couldn't be prouder of it, couldn't be happier about it. So thank you to everybody that has been participating. Like I said, the KAL runs until August 31st. And it is almost time to pick the May winners. So I'm hoping to get another episode in. Once the Sock Talk video part 2 is out, I only have 1 more video to go, which is the short row Sock Talk Part 3, which will be focusing mainly on short rows. So, and I have some news on that point too. Like I said, there's a lot to cover. Yes. And in case I didn't say it, today is Thursday. I like to do that just as a marker for people. Today is Thursday. It is May 23rd. Yeah, so it's good stuff. Both of my kids are in school right now. It is 1:15, so I've got plenty of time to keep going. I don't have to leave the house for another hour. Yay! Hopefully this video is not that long, but I've got time, so I don't have to rush. So May winners will be picked in just another few days. I can't wait to do that. We've gotten some more yarn in. You know what? You know, I'll show you that in the next episode. More yarn donations are coming in, and thank you so much. The dyers that have been so generous and donated yarn to this KAL has just blown me away. It's just wonderful. I also have some sock patterns that I will also be gifting going forward for the next. We have May, June, July, and then the August. So 4 more sets, and I've been picking 2 winners per month. So we've got 8 more winners to go, lots of yarn to give away, lots of sock patterns to give away. So stay tuned for all of the fun. And if you haven't already, please go over to the Ravelry group. It is the EarthtonesGirl podcast group to join in the No Fear Sock KAL. People in there are amazing. It got so busy that I actually appointed a moderator, and that's Cynthia Wilson. So Cynthia, if you're watching, thank you so very much. She has been added as a moderator. I felt like she was sort of doing that already, which was amazing, and I'm so grateful for all of the input and time and links and patterns and help that she has shown and shared with everybody. It's just been incredible. So I'm very, very grateful to her, and just made it official. She's officially a moderator. So again, thank you, Cynthia. Congratulations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, and like I said, we're at the halfway point, and I think it appropriate to share some other KAL news. There are 2 other sock KALs going on. There are many, many, many sock KALs, but 2 in particular that I want to share here with you, that I think once my fearless sock knitters feel like they've sort of graduated and they've gotten the hang of it, and are starting to get their sock recipes perfected, whether that's top down, toe up, what type of heel they like, what type of toe they like, what type of cast on for the cuff. Once I think you've gone through a few pairs of socks, you start to get the hang of what you like and don't like, and a lot of people are still experimenting, which is wonderful. But the other 2 sock KALs that are going on, there are prizes being given for that. There's yarn prizes, pattern prizes, and I just think it would be wonderful to just, you know, spread your wings a little bit, try out other KALs. There is room for everybody, you guys. I'm not trying to keep my knitters to myself. I want everybody participating in everything, and you can double dip into other KALs, you can poly dip into multiple KALs. I don't have a problem with that, and I'm sure that these other hosts and makers will not have a problem with it either. So the first one I want to talk about is the Socksessful KAL, or actually it's a MAL, it's a make along, so you can knit or crochet your socks, and all of the details on that are in the hosts Ravelry group, and it is being hosted by Marce, who is Hey Brownberry on Instagram. Her podcast group is the Hey Brownberry and Friends. No, I'm sorry. Her Ravelry group is the Hey Brownberry and Friends Ravelry group, and her podcast on YouTube, her video podcast is Hey Brownberry Podcast. So please go and check out. Again, it's the Socksessful MAL, so it's M-A-L instead of K-A-L, make along instead of knit along, and I don't have her dates written here, but I will put them down here on the screen for you. So go and join that. I don't think her KAL is running that long. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 months. But Marce is amazing. Marce is such a beautiful soul. She's such a beautiful person, such a talented maker. Please go and join her KAL and show it some love, knit some more socks. The more socks, the better. So go and join her. And the other KAL is the Tanis Fiber Arts Simple Sock KAL, and that is being hosted by Tanis Fiber Arts on Instagram. I know it's the Tanis Fiber Arts Ravelry group, and I don't think she has a podcast, but I'll confirm that down here for you as well. I'll look that up after. So, and in her group, she has 2 sock patterns. The trusty toe-up sock pattern that she's the designer behind both of these sock patterns. So the toe-up pattern is the trusty toe-up sock pattern, and then she has a top-down pattern, which is the old reliable sock pattern. I don't think it's all reliable top down, but I'll put all of that down here for you too. So go on over very simple, very basic socks. That is the theme of her knit along. So you can use either one of her patterns. I believe I've linked them in my Ravelry group. If I haven't, I will in the next day or so, just so you'll be able to link, because I'll try to put the link to that down in the description box down below, but I'll link to everything everywhere. So you can go and have a look at those two sock patterns. I believe that they're both free. So go have a look. I've looked at them both myself. Super basic, super easy to follow, crystal clear instructions. They're two really, really great basic patterns for beginners. You can also possibly even take those basic patterns and maybe embellish a little bit, maybe add a little color work, few rows to it. You can add a texture pattern to it. They're really, really great patterns. And I know that Tanis Fiber Arts also dyes yarn, so you might want to go and check out her Etsy shop or her website and order some yarn. Go wild, go crazy, knit socks, you guys. So I really wanted to share those other two sock cals with you. And again, double dipping, poly dipping is more than welcome. I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to hog the spotlight. Go knit your socks, enjoy. There is plenty of room out there for everybody. One of the things in this knitting community, there's been a lot of upheaval in the knitting community since the beginning of the year, as we all know. I'm not going to go into that again here, but I feel like a lot of people are pulling each other in, supporting one another, uplifting one another, and that's what I want to do here with both of those make-alongs, with other patterns, with other projects. Just go explore. There's so much talent out there. Go and have fun, go and join the cals, go knit and have a good time. So that's it for that. And drum roll, I am co-hosting the summer Mitten KAL again. Yay! Rachel and I were talking. Rachel is Treehouse Knits, and last summer we co-hosted the summer Mitten KAL, and that ran from June 1st until July 31st, just 2 months. We had such a great time. It was so much fun. I put out a sock tutorial video. I know Rachel did as well, for Afterthought Thumbs. So there's a lot of information out there already to help you with mitten knitting if that is what you're interested in. If it's something you've never done before and want to try, please come over and join. The weight of your yarn doesn't matter. The pattern doesn't matter. The only thing, if you want to call it a rule for the KAL, is to find a mitten pattern that has sort of a summery theme to it, and that way you've got these warm summer themed mittens to wear in the winter, in the fall and in the winter, to remind you of the warmth of summer. So that is our goal with the summer Mitten KAL. And Rachel, hi, if you're watching, I am so happy to be doing this with you again. And guess what, you guys? Rachel, so excited for her. Rachel has put out her first mitten pattern. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I will put a picture of that in here for you. It is called Rennie's Mitts. They are stunning, you guys. They're so stunning and beautiful. The cherry pattern across the cuff is just gorgeous, and then you've got these little pockets that are little tufts of yarn and little pockets on the mitten itself. Just beautiful. So beautiful. So those mittens, Rennie's Mittens, will be a featured pattern for the summer Mitten KAL. That is going to be one of our primary patterns that we'll be knitting, and I will be knitting a pair of those as well, probably on worsted weight yarn, just because it knits up a lot faster. And again, you can knit them on, I'm not sure off the top of my head, I believe the original pattern might have been a DK or a sport weight. It could also be a worsted. I will confirm that in the next podcast episode. But so that kicks off on June 1st. I will try my best to get another episode, even if it's really brief, just to talk about the Mitten KAL in a little bit more detail and what my plans are, my patterns are for knitting my mitten. I will do another episode to sum up again all of the details for the summer Mitten KAL. talk about the Rennies Mitts and what patterns I will be working on, or what I'd hope to be working on during that 2-month knit along. So join me again for more details on that, but I really wanted to get it out there that that will be happening and kicking off on June 1st. Rachel and I are going to try to go live. If you remember last year, that wasn't a pretty face because it wasn't a pretty experience last year. We tried to go live together on Instagram and it just didn't work. We tried multiple times. We ended up going live separately to get the information out there for you and to kick things off. So we'll try again this year. Hopefully it works this year. So yeah, I am so excited, so excited to be doing that again. We had so much fun and I think you guys are gonna really enjoy that. I think it'll also be a really good break for me from sock knitting. I think where I am in my knitting right now, a lot of the socks, I've been mainly knitting socks. I finished the Tundra sweater, which was the focus of my last episode, episode 30. And honestly, you guys, I still love my socks. I'm still going to always have a sock on needles, but I'm not gonna lie, I really do feel like a lot of the sock knitting I've been doing has not really been for me. It's been for the tutorials, it's been for viewers. So I really am looking forward to wrapping up a lot of that knitting and getting back to just knitting for little old me. Yeah, so that is the perfect segue into sock talk. So part 1, sock talk tutorials, you guys. Again, blown away by the response. You all, I have really incredible viewers. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of your support for these videos. I am so excited about them. The first one was can I dare say a hit? I think a lot of people really enjoyed it, really got a lot out of it. I'm really proud of it. Lots and lots of views here on YouTube. People are still watching it. They're still sending me messages, thanking me for the video, and it's been my pleasure. These videos are very time consuming, they are labor intensive, but I enjoy doing them so much. I just want to get the information out there to you guys, so I really have fun doing these. And the first sock talk video focused on the heel flapping gusset. So all of the information is there for you. Part 2 is focusing on the afterthought heel, and like I said, I'm working on that right now, so that'll be out almost coinciding with this episode. And then part 3 is going to be talking about short rows. So guess what? Lots going on. A couple of weeks ago, I posted on my Instagram feed that I worked on, I don't think I have it here. You know what, I'm not sure where. Hold on one second, I'm going off camera. Hold on, let's grab it. Hang on. It's right here. I've got it. So, is it this one? No, it is this one. Got it right here. So I posted that I was working on the short row heel that was originally designed. It's called the Easiest Heel, Sock Heel by Arne and Carlos. And I tried the heel. I did 2 still shots in my Instagram feed and then a little video. And I did it and it was truly easy, but, excuse me, but the 2 sides didn't match, you guys. Each side of the sock looked different. And one side was really clean and the other side actually had little holes. Now I know for a short row heel, German short row, things like that, there is the tendency, even with a Japanese short row, which I watched a video on the other day and I felt like my head was pulsing. Whew, if you ever get a chance to have a look at Japanese short rows, go and have a look. It's really interesting to watch how that's done. But anyway, the tendency with short rows is to get tiny little holes along the edge of the heel, and a lot of people that doesn't bother them, but it was bugging the heck out of me. So I just finished a test knit for Charlotte, and we'll talk about that, you know, I'll talk about that right now. But the point is, before I show it to you, I figured it out, you guys. I said in my post that I was going to work on tweaking the heel or possibly coming up with a slightly different or modification or even a new heel, a new short row heel that was symmetrical and had no heels. And I did it. I did it, you guys. I did it. Oh my gosh, it was one of those moments when I sat and did it, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and the house is quiet, Chris is asleep, my husband's asleep, and I'm like, and there's no one to share it with. Ugh. So I actually sent the written instructions to, I just typed them into a message really quick to Charlotte, who is Stone Knits, and she's the person I did the test knit for, and I'll show you that in 1 second. So I sent her the instructions and I said, okay, what do you think of this? What do you, I'm just checking the time. I said, what do you think? And she knit it and sent me a message back and said, oh my gosh, it works. So, woohoo! I can't begin to tell you. I didn't dramatically alter the Arnie and Carlos heel, but what I did, and I'll talk about this in Sock Talk Part 3, and I'm also going to talk about it in the next video here, it's symmetry. What you do on one side of the sock as you're knitting it, so on the knit side and on the purl side, has to match. It has to match. You have to do the same thing on both sides. If you don't, when you look at the completed sock, you're only looking at the knit side and it's not going to look the same. That's it right there. So I found a way to knit across the knit side and across the purl side, and I pick stitches up in the same way. I slip stitches in the same way on either side to get them to be symmetrical. And also the way that I knit and picked up the stitches along the heel, I twisted the stitches so that you don't get the holes. And I'm going to show you what my test knit looks like, because I actually put that heel in the test knit. And here it is, you guys. Here's the test knit first of all. What? Oh my gosh. Look at how gorgeous this is. This is the Play Socks by Charlotte, who is Stone Knits on Instagram. Isn't this the most gorgeous colorwork sock ever? And it looks incredibly complicated, but it is so easy. This was such an easy, fun knit. I used Gray Gardens for the cuff and the toe, and the Gray Gardens and the gray in here and the striping. The Gray Gardens is by Legacy Fiber Arts, and then the pinks, this is kind of a almost like a maroony brown kind of color, but that is part of a 5 skein set called Secret Admirer, and that's by Woolberry Fiber Company. And that's it, you guys. Look at that. And it's called the Play Socks because if you notice, the little arrows here look like the play button on your phones, on computer, on TV. So there you have it. Isn't this gorgeous? So this is the test knit. The goal was to finish 1 sock within Charlotte's time frame. I have already cast on the 2nd sock. Can't wait to finish that. So much fun. But now let's take a look at the heel, you guys. Look at that heel. Let's turn it this way. Look at the heel. It is the same on both sides, you guys, and there are no holes. There are no holes. Look at that. Woohoo! So the original instructions for this pattern, for this heel, is in Charlotte's pattern, and I believe they follow almost exactly the Arnie and Carlos instructions. I have since, as I said, I've since tweaked it, and I will be writing up a pattern for this that hopefully will be coming out at the same time. This is also a free pattern, by the way. I just wanted to say that. It's a free pattern from Stone Knits, and I'm going to be writing up my instructions for this heel, and those will be available by the time Sock Talk Part 3 comes out. So excited. It's going to be free. I just want to share the information with you, and because I didn't come up with all of the aspects of the heel, I felt it only fair to do a free pattern. So stay tuned for that. It will be my first sock pattern. It's going to be very, very simple, not a lot of bells and whistles. It's just to get the information out about this short row heel. So stay tuned for that, you guys. So here's my first little FO. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. So again, that is the Play Sock by Charlotte, who is Stone Knits. Thank you, Charlotte, so much for letting me test knit for you. It's for the opportunity to test knit for you. I love all of your designs. She also has a new design called Lavender Bloom. Her color work patterns are so beautiful. This one happened to be an overall color work design, but she also has some where the color work is just across the leg and maybe a little bit more across the toe. So I do recommend going and having a look at those. Yeah, so that is Sock Talk part 1, 2, and 3 and what's happening with that. Can't wait to share some more with you. Yep, still have time. So let's share some FOs, you guys. You know what? I'm going to, why not just keep going? I'm just going to keep going. There's no reason to pause. So let's put this here and let's keep going. So I have an FO here for you. I'm going to put these on the needles while I keep talking. I have finished 2 more pairs, or 2 pairs of socks. Both of these were works in progress in the last episode, but they are now done. So the first one is on. Let's get the second one on. Bear with me. It's so funny. When I first started podcasting, I used to stop a lot and do a lot of breaks in between talking. And I find now I just talk. I can kind of do it in one take, which is really nice. It also makes editing a little bit easier. So here we go. You guys are ready? Ta-da! Socks complete. These are the Love Song socks by London House Yarns. The name of this colorway is Love Song, and just a standard, my usual pattern, 64 stitches, vanilla sock pattern, 64 stitches, 2.25 needle. I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel on these, and I was able to split it right in between the striping. So there you go. Oh, I love these so much. They are so springy, they're so beautiful, and here they are, all done, you guys. Super, super fun. And this was a 20 gram, 50 gram is your main color, which was the striping yarn, and then a 20 gram mini. And usually I knit my socks so that they come up to about here, and I did have enough yarn left over to do that. I wanted the leg to be just a little bit shorter, because I wanted to save a little bit of the striping yarn to work on a cowl, just a stripy sock yarn cowl that I would love to start working on maybe at some point in the summer to wear for the winter, fall and winter this year. So that is why these are a little bit shorter, but I definitely absolutely had enough, and I had enough to continue going on the leg, or my foot, I am a 7.5, so these fit perfectly, but I could, if you are knitting for somebody with a larger foot, or if you yourself have a larger foot, there's definitely enough to go a little bit longer. And I also had plenty of the contrasting color left over as well. So here you go, Love Song socks, London House Yarns. So there you go, guys. So let's pop these off. Hang on. Let's pull these off my sock blockers. And I have another pair here. So while I'm sliding these on the needles, you guys, let's just talk for a minute. No spoilers, absolutely no spoilers. I would never do that. I learned my lesson. I actually did that once for, I remember I was in massage therapy school, and Gladiator, the movie Gladiator with Russell Crowe had just come out, and we were all talking, you know, it was Monday, we're back in class, and some people were like, what'd you do over the weekend? Oh, I went to see the new Gladiator movie. It was so great. And I said, yeah, I saw it too. And, you know, and I was so devastated when he died at the end. I said shucks, not the other word. The look on my friend's face, the look he gave me of like, what? I didn't see it yet. I can't believe you just ruined it. And he was really, really, really so upset with me. And I felt terrible. So I swore from that day going forward, I would never ruin a TV show, book, movie ending for anyone. But oh, I'm already wagging them around. Let's just say Game of Thrones is over. The series is over. It's been 10 years. Bravo to the crew, to the directors, to the actors, to stars, to the cast, the crew, everybody. Amazing, amazing, amazing series. One of the best series I've ever watched on TV or on cable. Just amazing. And I know a lot of people had a lot of issues with this last season and with the ending. Suffice to say, I was satisfied with the ending. I wish a couple of other things had happened, but I'm okay with it. And I wish this whole season, it was 6 episodes, I wish it hadn't felt so rushed. That was my biggest issue with this season, and I think it was the biggest issue for a lot of people. There were a lot of loose ends and a lot of storylines to wrap up in a really shortened amount of time. In the past, the seasons were 8 episodes long. This year there were 6. Each episode was a little bit longer, but it just felt very rushed. It felt very rushed. And I think that was, I don't know, an inhibitor, I guess, to the series ending with a more satisfying ending. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm done talking because things are going to start slipping out. But I was able to finish. So these are my little tribute to Game of Thrones. My White Walker socks are done, you guys. Look at these. Oh, let's turn these around. They are done. And I haven't blocked these, so you may see a little bit of gaping, gapping in there. I keep saying, I always have a problem with gaping and gapping. That really isn't a hole, because if you look through, the fabric is right underneath. It's the way I knit these, so I think once these are blocked, you're not going to see that at all. But here are my Game of Thrones socks with the tiny, tiny little yellow, little gray on the ends. It's just how the yarn knit up. But I definitely wanted to get that blue on the heel, and I pulled out a lot of the yarn in order to get to that blue for the color of the walker's eyes. So yeah, I know, I'm such a geek. I am letting my geek flag fly right now. And I don't care. So here are my Game of Thrones socks. This yarn, this colorway is called White Walkers by White Birch Fiber Arts, and I did an afterthought heel. Now this particular afterthought heel is, the way I did this one is not part of my Sock Talk afterthought heel. This particular heel is by Susan B. Anderson. She did the smooth operator sock. I did knit these top down. She did the smooth operator sock. And when I took a class with her, so this is the smooth operator sock pattern, but I took a class with her at Vogue Knitting Live in January, and in the class she shared with us a new heel that she's going to be coming out with hopefully soon. It's called the Ultimate Heel, and there's a couple of little differences. So this is the first time, aside from the sample I did in class, this is the first time then that I've done that on my own. And once the pattern's out, I will definitely explain why this looks the way that it does in here. Again, they are not holes. They look like big gaping holes, but they're not holes, and I'll explain a little bit more once the pattern comes out. Just for the sake of respect for Susan, I'm not going to go into that here, but again, it's the Ultimate Heel by Susan B. Anderson that will be coming out hopefully soon. I did reach out to her about it, and she is in the process of writing that up. So I don't know what her time frame is, but it's amazing. It's mind-blowingly amazing. So once that's out, I'm sure I will post it in, I'll talk about it here, and I will post about it in my Insta stories and my feed, and I recommend going and checking that out. But again, socks are done, y'all. They are done. My White Walker socks. Look at that. Oh, isn't this just Game of Thrones just in, you know, these are the White Walkers in a pair of socks. I love these so much. And I did wear these on the last night. I had them finished, so I did wear these during the season finale, although I had to take them off. Oh, just got a warning that my battery's running out, but I'm almost finished. Had to take them off at the end because I was sweating like crazy just from the anxiety and the stress and the, oh my gosh. So anyway, here they are. So let's pop these off. And that's it, you guys. I do have my samples that I'm working on over there. They're sort of in the middle of being worked on, so I don't want to pick them up and move them, but they are my Firecracker, and I talked about those in the last episode, I believe. They are Fireworks, not Firecracker, Fireworks colorway socks by Mustache Yarn, and that's what I'm using. Those two samples are for the Afterthought heel. So I will share those completed socks with you in the next episode. That's it. That's all I have on my needles, you guys. I've got so many projects planned and other things that I want to work on. My tundra sweater was done. I absolutely loved it, but I already started a Weekender, the Weekender sweater, and I think that's by Andrea Mowry. And I'm almost up to the armhole, so I can start working. I don't want to say almost done, but it's just to finish the yoke and then the sleeves. So I really want to get back to work on that and finish that up. I just received yarn from the Woolly Thistle to work on a magnificent, oh my gosh, Fair Isle cowl. So I'll share that with you in the next episode as well. And just today, I'm just checking on my notes. Just today I saw a really, really simple stripy cowl by Amy Florence, and it's called the Litmus cowl. So that's another pattern that I'm hoping to cast on. Just mindless knitting, something really simple to go along with the Fair Isle cowl, because that is not mindless knitting at all. That's a lot of charts and a lot of different colors, and it's just gorgeous. So I can't wait to start that. That's going to be a long-term project that I'll definitely be wearing hopefully by winter. Definitely, hopefully. Did you hear that? Definitely, hopefully. That's my knitting world, my making world right now. There's also another gorgeous cowl by Ninja Chickens, Maria, who is Ninja Chickens, and that is the Seer. There's a cowl, it's a hat, mitten, and amazing cape. Oh my gosh, go and check it. It's breathtaking. It's really breathtaking. I'm hoping to knit. One of the test knitters made the hat into a cowl, so I really want to do the cowl and the mittens, but I'll be talking about that upcoming, and I'm putting in pictures of all of those here for you guys to have a look at. So upcoming projects, future plans, yeah, I'm back. I'm so happy to be here with you. Like I said, I'm hoping to get another video up, even if it's a really brief one, just before the summer Mitten KAL kicks off. And also, guys, it's the end of the school year, practically. My kids have about 3.5 weeks left of school, maybe 4 weeks, and they're done. My daughter's finished on the 19th, and my son is done on the 14th of June. Oh, I'm going to have a 5th grader and a kindergartner in the fall. We'll talk about that later, because I'm just going to start crying. I don't understand where the time went and how I got here so fast, but we're here. So I will be sharing with you end of school activities and pictures and family fun, and kicking off the summer Mitten KAL and more sock talk videos. So there is a lot happening in Casa de EarthtonesGirl. And I hope that you all stick around and join me for all of it. I also can't believe I've done this whole episode in one take. Right now I'm looking at 42 minutes, 49 seconds. So thank you all so very much for joining me. It feels so good to be back and sharing with you all again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the best, and I so appreciate that you're here and sharing some time with me. Hope that your spring is going well. I hope you have wonderful plans for the summer. I will be sharing our family plans in future episodes. So that's it. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.